We are about 3 weeks out from the NE10 cross country championship, which sounds really weird to say at this point in the fall. But Courtney
Yeah.
Henchcliffe joins us from Southern Connecticut State University. She is the only NE10 runner of the week this season. 3 times she has captured that honor. Courtney, congratulations. Tell me what's
Thank
worked for
you.
you this fall.
Honestly, I think our training this fall especially has been so much different than falls in the past. I think we're really focusing on like the higher mileage aspect of it. Like I've never ran this much in my life. I think I hit 90 miles like at like 80 to 90 for like 6 weeks in a row, and it was definitely hard, but then going down to 75 last weekend for the first time since over the summer, I like felt good. And then we're just like gonna keep building off that. So I think that's worked really well. And then also just having like such a supportive team, we all want it really bad. And, we've gone to nationals the past 2 years, and that's always the goal. And then obviously last year with me being out, it's like I'm always hungry for more. I want to win, like winning, like when I don't win, it's definitely hard. But it's yeah, it's been really fun though.
For the layman at home, when you talk about running 90 miles, you're preparing for a 6K, so like 3 miles and change.
Right.
What does 90 miles feel like? What does that kind of mileage do for you? Walk me through the training process.
Yeah, so basically, on Sunday, it definitely feels like you kind of got hit by a train. But then, like, so we started doing double threshold this year. So basically, like, you have a morning workout and a night workout on Tuesdays. So right there, that's like 18 to 20 miles just for that one day, which, like, if you told me that a couple years ago, that's like half my mileage for the week. So it was definitely like a shock to the system. But yeah, it's been really fun. I think a big part of like the reason we do high mileage is so that when we do like come off of that and go a little bit lower, like for me, you know, I'm trying to think of the word. Like my down weeks are like 70. Like for me, that's like perfect. I feel super fresh. And yeah, I think just when you load your mileage like that, coming down a little bit, but still having that high mileage makes you feel so much fresher than like if you were to do like 40 going to 30, because then it's like really not that different. But like a 20, you have a 20-mile difference, but it's not like kind of hindering your training that much.
How does that running happen with intention, I guess? When you talk about training to get faster, right?
Yeah,
Like again, I think the layman looks at it and like, oh, well, they're running today.
right.
When you guys run to train, how do
Yeah.
you attack all of that mileage so that on race day, not only are you feeling good, not only are you running well, but you feel like you're actually continuously getting faster?
Yeah, so I think a big part of it is what we're doing like outside of practice, like focusing on fueling. Like you have to eat so much to be able to run this much. Like it's crazy. I feel like I never stop eating because like we're just running so much that if we're not doing that, we're not really gaining anything. Like we're not holding on to any fitness, getting stronger. Like you would get injured kind of without doing that. But so definitely that. Definitely sleep. I don't think I've slept this much in my life. Like at least 8 to 9 hours a night is like sounding perfect. Because especially last year, I was a nursing major and I would get like 6, and it was not ideal. But yeah, so eating, sleeping, focusing on self-care, still hanging out with like your teammates, your friends. Like you need to have a life outside of running too, which sounds hard because we're running so much, but it all works out. Like practice, it really only takes up 2 hours of your day to, get what you need to get done.
Um, you're doing all of this, did not do it last year. Obviously, you
Right.
were out because of an injury.
Yeah.
How hard was it last year to not
Oh,
have this?
oh my gosh. My coach can attest to this. I would be on the assault bike literally crying. Like I would just try to be biking as hard as I can because I never like I was biking the next day. Like I broke my collarbone on a Monday and I was at practice on Tuesday at 6:30 in the morning, just already on the bike. Like it was never really an option to slow down for me because it just like not only does the sport mean so much to me, but like my teammates mean so much to me. And I knew like I wanted to be back by the spring, and like I that's something like that was super important to me, even though taking off 3 months of running like kind of is hard. It's really hard, and then you only have such like a short amount of time to get fit quick. But I was like, I can't just blow this all off and just say like whatever, like I'm just not gonna do it. Like I was there every day at 6:30 biking. I would bike like 2 hours in the morning and like an hour at night. Like I was definitely, and it honestly was harder than what I'm doing now. Like that was so mentally tough too. So honestly, yeah, that was really hard though. Like especially watching, I would go to practice and watch them run, and that was like it's so fun, but it was also heartbreaking. Like I just wanted to run so bad.
When you have an injured collarbone, obviously you can still like theoretically could still run, but like
Right.
can't risk falling, can't risk stumbling. Obviously, there's
Right.
upper body involved in everything. You've got to breathe.
Yeah.
How hard is it to sit back? Because I have to imagine there was a piece in your mind that was like, I can still go run.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so I was very stubborn, I'd say, and I think my surgeon knew that. So the place I broke my collarbone, it was kind of on the end of my shoulder. So it was like all the way over here. So he said basically, like, I wasn't even allowed to go on brisk walks for a few weeks because he was like, first of all, I think he kind of heightened it because I'm so stubborn, but like he was basically like it could unattach like from the metal that he put in. He was like it could unattach because it's just like kind of a rougher place to have it. So there's not much bone density on the end there. So it was definitely like it was partially I was just really mad that I couldn't do anything, but also it was nice that he was basically like, you can't do anything. Because I know I would have tried and like maybe pushed it a little bit too much and then maybe it would have undone. I don't know. But yeah.
Is that the
But it was
first time in
hard.
your career you've had to deal with injury?
Yes, that's the first like real injury. And I've been doing this sport for like 16 years. I've done this since I was 5. So that was like kind of a shock to the system. It's the first time I was really told like you can't run. And I was like, what do you mean I can't run? I've been doing this forever. Like
You did cross country at 5, or you started doing like track things at 5?
yeah, yeah, like random, like would have like it was called Nutmeg Striders. It's in Newtown, and they do it with Southbury, and that I mean that started in fifth grade, but so from 5 to 5th grade, I would just do like local fun runs. My dad was in triathlons and stuff, so at like such a young age, we were all like running, doing sports. So.
I was going to say, why do you do this?
Oh yeah. I think well, I tried soccer when I was very little, but I have no coordination for that, which apparently I don't have coordination to run either. So this was my best bet. But yeah, so my dad, he did triathlons like from we were little, like my parents dragging us out of bed at 5 a.m. to go to Quasi and Southbury and just like watch our dad do triathlons. But he still does them. He's like almost 60 and he just did Ironman a couple years ago. So he's definitely like such a big like athletic inspiration in my life.
What is in your future? Beyond cross country, beyond track, like do you want to do triathlons? Do you want to do you have marathon bucket lists?
Yeah, so I don't really know about triathlon just because I'm not the best swimmer. I always kind of make jokes that I would definitely like drown. But I think marathon for sure, that would be so fun. But it's hard too because I know like that's got to be so taxing. And it's actually funny because my dad last night he was like we were talking about I was watching the marathon Olympic trials from 2 years ago just for fun. And he was like, I was like, I couldn't do this. And he was like, you're basically training for a marathon right now with all that mileage. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, like maybe you're right, but it seems like a lot of work. Like racing 26.2 miles is a big thing. And I just like maybe one or two, and then I'd probably be done.
I'll do it to say I did it, and I'll get the
Yeah,
medal. Yeah.
exactly.
Tell me about right now, though, in the future. What are your goals and expectations for Southern this fall? And then I guess looking ahead to this winter and spring as well.
Yeah, so I think our team goals are, to win the conference title, win the regional title, make it to nationals for the 3rd year in a row. like the pretty basic version. And then obviously we all want to stay healthy. We have such a young team this year. We have 5 freshmen, which is like crazy. We've never had that many freshmen. So it's definitely been fun watching them go from like high school to college training, but just making sure like they're staying healthy too, because it is so much work, like that transition, and just like helping them along the way. And then for indoor and outdoor, definitely just keep the ball rolling. We just want to win, honestly. Like as many titles as we can, fill the office a little bit more with all the trophies.
What does it mean to compete at Southern? Like, I feel like there is such a pride to what you guys have built and accomplished.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a pressure to it. Is it more of a fun to it? What does the Owls name tag mean to you guys?
I think it's definitely, honestly, some people think it's like pressure to kind of have the target on your back, especially after winning. But I think it's just fun. Like it's fun. We know like we're kind of the team to beat, if you will. And having that pressure is more so fun instead of scary. It's like we get to go out there and compete, and people are like, talking like, oh, like I wonder what she's gonna run or like whatever, what event she's doing, like for track. But yeah, so just it's been fun.
Um, I know there's so many differences between how you train different running events. And I remember last year,
Yeah.
I think I turned to Hannah Kayola at
Mhm.
the cross country championships, and I was like, "How would you do if you did this?" And she was like, "Never in a million years." How would you do as a sprinter, and
Oh my,
which short distance runner at Southern would do best as a long distance runner?
oh my gosh, this is fun. I think as a sprinter, I would probably be not very good. I mean, I think like in practice, if we ever have 200s after, Ks or something, I think like hitting 32 is like, oh my gosh, like put me in the 4x2. But yeah, so I think if I did do a sprinting event, it would probably be like the 400 just because like that's the longest sprinting event that I can choose and it still would not be very fast. But honestly, if I had to choose like a sprinter to be a distance runner, like I could see Hannah maybe doing the 800 because she's got long legs, she covered a lot of ground. And I know she did the 6 or maybe the 5 or the 600 last year and she was pretty good. So just another 200 meters and why not?
Another 200 meters. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 20 more seconds, right? Uh,
Yeah.
For you, you mentioned earlier being a nursing major.
Yeah.
What are your goals after college professionally, and what's it been like in college managing what I know is a really difficult course load?
Yeah, so I actually just finished that degree in August, which was so relieving. Like, oh my goodness, I could not even tell you. But yeah, so after college, I want to do labor and delivery just because, I've always been around babies my whole life. And then that rotation, especially, it was like my favorite. It's just so cool to like see all that, like help the moms go through that. There was a lot of nights where I was like, I don't know if I could do this, but it was always a dream of mine to be a nurse, so it wasn't really an option to, go back on that for me. Like it was definitely a challenge getting through it last year, especially like trying to take notes with one hand. It was a little rough, but I actually had to step back from school in the fall, which was really hard because you can't go to clinical with one arm, unfortunately, because it's like a hands-on experience, which in the moment I was definitely very like mad and upset. But looking back, it honestly worked out for the better because, I had that whole time like in the fall to just really recover and like train without, I mean, I was still in a couple classes, but train without this real stress of like, waking up at 5 a.m. and going to clinical for 12 hours and like having one arm having to do everything by myself. Like, so that was good. But coming back in the spring, it really just hit me like a truck. Cause then I was like, back to school, back to training, we're starting double threshold. You're gonna run like 80 miles a week. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? But finishing that in August was like super relieving. I don't honestly don't really know how I managed it. Like sometimes I look back now and I'm like, I don't know how I did that.
That's I feel like how some of this process works sometimes is you get to the end of the
Yeah.
road and you're like, you know what? Go me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Courtney, congratulations on everything to this point. It's been great to see
Thank
you run,
you.
and looking forward to seeing you up in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.